You ask most people who play Elite Dangerous what they would like to see on the game, and you will probably get a chorus of space legs, atmospheric landings, editable HUD colours or SRV multicrew. But these things are either far off in the future or else completely unworkable, and most likely infuriate the devs to bring up each time we do. Greetings Commanders, I am Harmony Mexicans, and today I would like to put forward 5 ideas that you may not have thought about that I would like to see in Elite Dangerous. Number 1. Ship Transponders. I've mentioned this idea previously in my Great Communication Problem video. I think it would be a great idea if there was some kind of LFG system for players to help find each other in game. This idea is a fusion of the current LFG multi-crew system and the wing beacon mechanics. I envision this as a transponder that can be toggled on or off in one ship. To toggle the transponder on, a player must link their ship with an activity, be it mining or bounty hunting or whatever. Other players can then scan for transponders in the area. They scan by activity and are presented by a list of commanders in the area who match that criteria. I don't know how big the area should be, if it should be limited to the system a player is in, or if it is possible to have a greater radius, say 30 light years as an example. Either way, I feel this simple system could be used for players to quickly find other players in the area that are doing similar activities. Number 2. Trackable megaships. Megaships are fast becoming a major feature in Elite Dangerous, but with them moving about all the time it is rather difficult for the average Joe Blogs player to actually find one of these giant vessels unless they accidentally blunder right into one. I think it would be better for everyone if there was some ability to track down megaships, especially with the imminent introduction of fleet carriers in the Q4 update. Now originally I thought it would be a good idea just to have a filter on the galaxy map for megaships, but upon reflection I believe that would be too easy. There are some megaships hiding out there waiting to be found, and sticking their locations on the map would spoil the fun. So how about having special traffic control megaships? These megaships always advertise their location on the galaxy map. The player can then make their way to the closest traffic control megaship, and then be given locations of subsequent megaships. Say a traffic control megaship has an influence of 150 light years. It will give the name and location of any other megaships in its area of influence once a player has interacted with it. This could be in the form of a message sent on the contacts menu, a simple list of names, ship types and system locations, which a player could then follow and find further megaships. This would introduce more of an element of gameplay into the whole process. Plus, keeping the traffic control megaships within the bubble would also mean that only certain megaships could be found via this process, and there will still be others outside the bubble for players to find the old-fashioned way. Number 3. Current events loading screen. Okay, I'm not knocking the spinning ship graphics. I love the Elite Dangerous art department. They rock. But I feel that sometimes I spend lots of time watching that spinning ship, and it is time that could be spent more efficiently. I don't know about you guys, but sometimes I feel it's hard to keep up with current events in Elite Dangerous. Galnet is cool, especially now that I can just stick it on in the background like the radio. But Galnet is good for community goals and little else when it comes to current events. Sorry Frontier folk. So how about some flashcards for active and upcoming events that come up on the loading screen instead of that spinning ship? Stuff like, the Thargoids are attacking this system, or this week's community goal is, or a deadly outbreak has struck these systems. People could even submit suggestions for player run events to be turned into flashcards. A bit simpler than the whole Galnet article. And I'm sure everyone would like to know when and where the next Buckyballer race or Distant Worlds expedition is getting underway, without referring to external sources. The real beauty of this idea though is that it is so in your face. The flashcards pop up on the game's loading screen and it is pretty much unavoidable to miss them. They give players ideas and suggestions of things to do when they get onto the game, and they keep them up to date with current events. On the Frontier end they could be relatively easy to manage, and they would surely help get the player base together a little more, which can only be good for business. Number 4. exploration bits and bobs. The Q4 update will see many new and fantastic things brought to the game of Elite Dangerous. Not least anticipated of these are the exploration updates. Frontier, being the kindly communicative company that they are, have shared some of these ideas with us already, and I for one am quite excited about it all. But there were one or two things that the devs had not mentioned regarding exploration that I feel should go into the game. I really hope that players will be able to see coordinates on a planet's surface via their system maps. A tiny detail, but massively important. Also, it would be very nice if explorers could get a running total of the data that they have collected. Just a minor touch, but again I feel this would be extremely useful and user friendly. Number 5. Commodity filter versus system state. Don't know about how many of you guys trade on Elite Dangerous, but I do, and I try to use the galaxy map rather than EDDB when I do trade. Call me a traditionalist, but I like to try and keep things in-game if I can. However, as good as the new trade filters are for the galaxy map, and they are good, although they take some time to learn, there is one fatal flaw in using this system. Okay, so the title's a bit of a dead giveaway, and if you trade then you probably already know where I'm going with this, but let me backtrack for a moment for those who don't. The trade filter on the galaxy map basically tells a player where a commodity can be bought or sold, and the demand. A player picks a commodity from the list, and all the systems that sell or buy the commodity within a certain area are displayed with icons. One icon for selling and one for buying. The size of the icon represents the demand. A careful player can then quickly scroll through the stations in the system to see the buy or sell prices for the commodity and find the best place to trade at. There is, however, another important factor that affects the commodity markets, and the trade filter does not currently take this important factor into account, leading many players to believe that the trade filter is broken, which in a way, it is. The factor I talk about is the system's state, specifically if the system is in boom or not. Many systems augment their commodity markets depending on if they're in boom or not, selling a greater number of commodities when in boom. The classic example here is a high-tech system that only sells advanced medicines when in a boom state, but there are many other examples to choose from. The trade filter may tell a player to go to a system that sells advanced medicines only for them to mysteriously discover that there are none upon their arrival. Even I, who am aware of this loophole, find it very time-consuming and often frustrating to constantly flip between galaxy map filters just to double-check a system buys or sells a commodity and also what state it's in. It would be very useful, not to mention user-friendly and efficient, to include the system state into the information displayed on the trade filter. And there you go, 5 small-ish ideas for Elite Dangerous. What did you think, everyone? Did you have a favourite idea, or did you think they all stunk? Please comment down below, as I would love to hear your feedback. For now though, that's me. Over and out.
You